Standard 5 students, today in this class we will revise chapter 3 science, food and health. Let us start the revision of chapter 3. Food and health. A food is something that provides nutrients. Nutrients are substances that provide energy for the activity, growth and all functions of the body such as breathing, digesting food and keeping warm. Materials for growth and repair of the body and for keeping the immune system healthy. So we need food to grow, to do the all normal functioning of the everyday work and all the functions of the body also, such as breathing, digesting food and keeping warm. Materials for growth and repair of the body. When we hurt ourselves, any part of the body damages, then also it repairs our body and keeps our immune system also healthy. Now we should know about what are nutrients. Food has a special substance called nutrients. Nutrients play an important role in promotion of health and disease prevention. That means it gives us health also and it prevents us from many diseases. There are 5 major nutrients in our food: carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals. Each plays a unique and important role in how our bodies function. We need to eat right amount of each nutrient to stay healthy. That means all the nutrients are required in right amount, otherwise lack of any nutrient can cause you disease. Now first is carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are the major source of energy. It is energy giving food. They come mainly from the foods like bread, corn, rice and wheat. They can also be found in vegetables, fruits and sugary foods. That means some potatoes and some fruits also have carbohydrates. They can readily be converted into glucose, a form of sugar that is used by the body. That means they give us energy in the form of sugar. You can see some foods that are rich in carbohydrates. You can see some fruits are also there, cereals are also there and some vegetables also contain carbohydrates. Now fat. Fat is also energy giving food. Fats are greasy substances with solid or liquid that will not dissolve in water. Fat do not dissolve in water. Fats and carbohydrates together are known as energy giving food. The sources of fats include butter, meat, cheese, vegetable oil, nuts, milk, cream and ghee. These are all rich sources of fat. The next is fat gives more energy than carbohydrates. Extra fat gets stored in the body which can be used when needed. Accumulation of fat in the body can lead to a condition called obesity. If you take large amount of fat and you will not use it, your body will not use it, then what will happen? It will accumulate in your fat layer by layer as fat, and this condition can lead to obesity. Obese or very fat people are at risk of high blood pressure, diabetes and heart diseases. So becoming obese is not good for health. Food rich in fats, you can see nuts, cheese, some fish, strawberries and some other fruits also. They are very rich in fat. Now proteins. Protein is body's most important nutrient that help our body to grow. They help in making muscles, blood and skin. That means they make new cells in our body. They also help in maintaining our body when it is damaged. They make new cells in our body when our body cells are damaged. Some sources of proteins are eggs, fish, milk, cheese, pulses, soya beans and meat. These are very rich sources of protein. So we must include this in our diet. Little children need more protein than adult because they are growing. Every day their height and their body is increasing in size. That's why they need more protein than adult. You can see the some food items here: egg, fish, milk and other pulses, all types of pulses. They are very rich in protein. Now vitamins and minerals. Vitamins and minerals are called protective food because they protect us to fight. They help us to fight and protect ourselves from diseases. They help us to fight from the germs and thus they protect us from diseases. That's why they are also known as protective food. Vitamins and minerals are found in fruits, eggs, fish, milk and green vegetables. These food are needed in small amounts. We need in small amount, but it is important. If you will lack any vitamin in our body, then it causes you disease. You can see All the fruits and vegetables contain vitamins and minerals, so we must include these in our diet. So raw vegetables and fruits are more important to eat than cooked, because after cooking some vitamins are also destroyed in the food. Now roughage. Fiber are also known as roughage. The fiber mostly present in the plant food. It is the part of the food that is not digested by the body. It is only available from foods of plant origin such as unrefined cereals, whole meal flour, fruit, vegetables, nuts, seeds and pulses such as peas, beans and lentils. They are very rich sources of fiber and they help to digest the food in our body. Now water. Water is also very important for the digestive system and to digest the food. Food needs water to properly digest. Hydration can reduce heartburn, acid, stomach, gas and constipation. Dehydration can cause weight gain, poor muscle tone, water retention. So we should not dehydrate our body and you should drink at least 6 to 8 glasses of water every day to keep your body hydrated and to keep your body and skin healthy and your digestion is smoothly. Here it is given also, it is necessary to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water every day to carry out all the body functions properly. Now balanced diet. Balanced diet is a diet that contains different kinds of foods in certain quantities and proportions so that the requirement for calories, proteins, minerals, vitamins and alternative nutrients is adequate for the proper growth and functioning of the body. That means in a balanced diet, all the nutrients should be in right amount that is needed by your body. Then only it will be a balanced diet. You can see the picture here, all the food items are included here, cereals, pulses, fruits, vegetables, nuts. All the types of nutrients should be included in your diet, then it will be balanced diet. Now, exercise for good health. After eating all the food items, all the nutrients and balanced diet, if you will not exercise, then overall health of the body will not be achieved. So, to have overall health, we need to exercise also. Exercise in any form of physical exercises that helps promote overall health. There are many ways to exercise including walking, running, playing, swimming and dancing. Exercise aims to maintain, enhance our physical fitness and good health. We must exercise regularly as it gives us more energy, strength and flexibility. So, any type of exercise we must do every day to make our overall health. And it gives you more energy also, strength also and flexibility. That means your body parts can move easily. All the joints will be moved every day so that it can be easily flexible. You can see different types of exercises here given. You can do any type of exercise. Children also can do this type of stretch exercise. Now diseases. A disease is a particular abnormal condition that negatively affects the structure or function of all parts or of an organism, and that is not due to any immediate external injury. That means it is not immediate, it is for some time. If you have problem in any part of your body, then it is called disease. Diseases are often known to be medical conditions that are associated with specific signs and symptoms. Types of diseases. Diseases can be classified into two types, communicable disease and non-communicable disease. So, from the name only you can understand, communicable diseases are also known as infectious disease because these diseases can spread from one person to another person and it spreads through germs. Infectious diseases are disorders caused by microorganisms such as bacteria, viruses, fungi or parasites. Many organisms live in and on our body. They are normally harmless or even helpful. But under certain conditions, some organisms may cause disease. Polio, typhoid, mumps, chickenpox, tuberculosis and AIDS are some communicable diseases. Common diseases causing microorganisms we will discuss now. Let us see types of pathogens. Pathogens are microorganisms that can cause us diseases. They are called pathogens. Bacteria, virus, fungi, rickettsia, protozoa and parasitic worms. They are all microorganisms that can cause us diseases. First we will discuss about bacteria. These one-cell organisms are responsible for illnesses such as strep throat, urinary tract infections and tuberculosis, cholera, typhoid, tetanus and pneumonia. These are all diseases caused by the bacteria. You can see different types of bacteria are given here. Streptococcus pneumoniae that causes pneumonia, Clostridium tetani that causes tetanus disease, Vibrio cholerae that causes cholera, and many other types of Salmonella typhi that causes typhoid. So many types of different bacteria are there that can cause us different types of diseases. Now viruses, even smaller than bacteria, viruses cause a multitude of diseases. Some diseases caused by viruses are measles, AIDS, common cold, viral fever, polio, conjunctivitis, chickenpox and dengue. These are all the diseases caused by virus. You can see the picture of viruses. Now protozoa. Malaria is caused by a protozoa that is transmitted by a mosquito, female Anopheles bite. Female Anopheles mosquito is the vector or carrier of malaria germs, that is Plasmodium vivax, and when this mosquito bites you, they transfer the germ to your body. Dysentery is also caused by protozoa called amoeba. Protozoa causing dysentery. A structure of amoeba, food vacuole, you can see amoeba causes dysentery in your body. Now fungi. Many skin diseases such as ringworm and athlete's foot are caused by fungi. Other types of fungi can infect your lungs or nervous system also. Food poisoning is can also be caused by fungi. Sometimes food poisoning is also caused by fungi. You can see skin fungus, red ring like structure occurs, that is known as ringworm. It is itching also. Now modes of transmission of diseases. Communicable diseases pass from one person to another through different modes of transmission. Direct contact with the infected person or animal transmits the disease. Diseases like ringworm, chickenpox, measles, common cold spread by touching the infected person or items like a towel, handkerchief or a toy touched by an infected person. That means if directly will come in contact with the infected person, sick person, or when you will use the things used by the infected person, then also the germs can remain in their towel, soap or things that the person is using like bed sheet. So you should avoid using these things which is used by the sick person. Germs pass from one person to another in this way. This is why patients with infectious diseases should keep away from others until they are cured. You can see the picture here how they are transmitting from one person to another through direct contact. You can see shaking hand and meeting in crowded places. Through indirect contact also, like their clothes, soap, etc. And through animals also, you can see mosquito also. So from the infected person also. So these are the ways by which diseases transfer from one person to another person. Prevention of communicable diseases. By maintaining some simple methods, we can prevent the communicable diseases. Maintain personal hygiene by bathing regularly and keeping nails clean and short. So we should maintain our personal hygiene. Every day we should bath, and every day we should brush our teeth and maintain personal cleanliness, like nails should be cut short and it should be kept clean. Avoid eating uncovered food items. We should not eat uncovered food items. Otherwise, if any insect or any animal like cockroaches, rats will crawl over this food, then they will infect the food. Avoid crowded places during an epidemic. We should avoid crowded places. Otherwise, from any other person we can get the disease. Keep drinking water at home in clean and covered containers. Drinking water should be kept covered and clean. Otherwise, it can be get contaminated. Wash your hands before and after eating food and after using the toilet. Because your hands may contain germs, and when you will eat with the dirty hand, then it can go to your body and make you sick. Keep your house and surrounding clean. House should be disinfected. It should be mopped every day with disinfectant, and your surroundings should be also kept clean. Garbage should not be thrown outside the house. Proper vaccination should be given. Some diseases need vaccination, that also should be taken. Now non-communicable or deficiency diseases. So it is the second type of disease, that is does not spread from one person to another, and it is non-infectious and non-communicable, or it is also known as deficiency disease because it is caused by the deficiency of nutrients in our body. Examples of sub-diseases are night blindness, beriberi, scurvy, rickets, anemia and goiter. These diseases occur due to the deficiency of nutrients in one's diet. Like vitamin A deficiency causes night blindness, vitamin B deficiency causes beriberi, vitamin C deficiency causes scurvy, vitamin D deficiency causes rickets, lack of iron in your diet causes anemia, lack of iodine in your diet causes goiter. These diseases occur due to deficiency of nutrients in one's diet. These diseases can be the result of unhealthy lifestyle or they may be present at birth. They are not spread from one person to another person. Now, some deficiency diseases are night blindness, beriberi, scurvy, rickets, anemia, osteoporosis and goiter. So, these are caused by the deficiency of vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin C, vitamin D and minerals like iron, calcium, iodine respectively. We can prevent all deficiency diseases by taking sufficient quantity of all nutrients in our diet. When we will include all these nutrients in sufficient quantity, we can prevent these diseases. Now, some important revision questions are there for you. Define disease. An illness that affects the health of a person is called disease. That means any normal functioning of the body will be disturbed, then it will be disease. Deficiency diseases. Disease caused due to lack of a particular nutrient is called deficiency disease. Now, vaccination. Vaccination is the introduction of dead or weakened germs into the body for protection against a disease called vaccination. Okay, to protect the disease, a particular disease, it is introduced the weakened or dead germs of the same disease into the body so that our body get prepared with antibodies that can prevent the disease. Like in COVID-19 case, people are getting vaccinated against this COVID-19 so that they can protect themselves from this disease. Now, balanced diet. A diet which contains all the nutrients in the right quantities as per the requirement of the body for proper growth and functioning is called balanced diet. If it is less than the required amount for your body, then it will be difficult. It is not a balanced diet. And every person needs different types of balanced diet according to their level of work. Like a laborer needs more energy rich food than the office worker because they are doing more physical work than the office worker. Now, what is roughage? Roughage is the portion of the plant food such as a whole grains, nuts, seeds, legumes, fruits and vegetables that your body can't digest but helps the body to get rid of undigested food. It is not digested, it doesn't give you any type of nutrient, but it helps you to digest the food. Now, third number question is give 2 examples of each of the following. First number is carbohydrate, corn and rice. Second is proteins, fish and milk. C is water soluble vitamins, vitamin B and vitamin C are soluble in water. D is water-borne diseases, typhoid and jaundice can be caused by drinking contaminated or infected water. So, thank you students, we will meet in the next class again. So, thank you all of you.